Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bold and the Beautiful reveals Katie Logan, Heather Tom, hired Eric Forrester, John McCook, as her lead designer at Logan. But we know Katie needs more than just a lead designer. She needs models, artists, other staffers, lots of people. So I'm wondering how many people she may hire away from Forrester Creations. And then some other people that don't work at Forrester, but that may wind up being big shockers. When Katie speeds up her staffing, I think in the end, the Forresters may be absolutely stunned. Okay, so right now we've got Eric and Katie ready to get to work at Logan. Of course, Donna Logan's not happy that Eric is Katie's lead designer, especially because they're keeping it a secret, at least for now. I suspect the big reveal of Eric as the Logan lead designer comes at their fashion show. Of course, that'll send Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester into a tailspin. But those are not the only new hires that Katie makes that I think are going to blow their minds. Eric will probably be the hiring reveal that hits Brooke and Ridge the hardest. I mean, they're going to consider that the ultimate betrayal. But this is really good for Eric, and of course, it's excellent for Katie. Hiring Eric is the tip of the iceberg, and Katie needs more than one designer and a bunch of other staff members to get Logan up and running and make a success of it. Now, we know Eric's hire is going to cause a huge ruckus, but I also expect some of the other hires that Katie makes will stir the pot and upset some, if not all, of the other Forresters. She may end up with some more Forrester employees on her payroll. On top of that, she may wind up with some enemies of the Forresters on her payroll. We're still waiting to see his official interview, but I know that Katie is likely going to hire Deke Sharp as a junior designer. She may possibly give him a line of his own for the younger set, something more casual, not couture like Eric is doing. The Forresters shouldn't gripe too much about Katie hiring Deke since they fired him, but I do think that Steffi Forrester may have an issue with it because Deke and Hope Logan are both actively rooting for Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes to get into a romance. Already Steffi is annoyed with Hope for shipping them. I think Steffi might think that Deke went over to Logan as some sort of revenge move over his firing, but it's the smart thing for him to do. Steffi might rant at Deke about the Sheila Carter, Deacon, and Taylor situation too. But Katie already recognized Deke's talent and asked him to consider coming to work for Logan. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to work with Eric. Plus, since his dad Deacon and Katie's hubby Bill Spencer are close now that they're in-laws, it would be keeping it all in the Sharp-Spencer family. I'm also thinking there's a chance that Hope might end up over at Logan as well. She's not happy that Steffi forced her to fire Deke and is forcing her to work with Thomas Forrester and Zende Forrester Dominguez, neither of which seem to understand or respect Hope's vision for Hope for the future, or the direction she wants to take it. That was what she and Deke were both in agreement on, and these guys seem to think it should go another way. Plus, if Hope keeps pushing Deacon to pursue Taylor and leave Sheila, which I think she will, I could see Steffi deciding to fire Hope over that. Steffi is terrified for Taylor's safety, and she's appalled that Hope thinks Taylor and Deacon should be together, so Steffi might kick her out of Forrester Creations. It would not be the first time that she fired Hope over something personal. Plus, since Katie is Hope's aunt, and with Eric over there and Deke possibly being over there too, this could be a big thing for Hope. And don't forget, she's a Spencer now too, and Liam Spencer is busy helping with Logan. Alright, so the next person I suspect that could be hired at Logan is someone that a bunch of Forresters are going to be hating on very soon, and that's Melissa Dillon, Sydney Dillon. This week, Will Spencer asked Dillon to dance for him. And then, as I predicted, she fell into his lap accidentally, and it was spied and misinterpreted. So Ivy Forrester barged into Dillon's apartment to rant at her after hiding in a bush like normal human adults do when they are spying on people they shouldn't be. That was all crazy antics. This week, we've got Ivy threatening Dillon, telling her to leave Will's property, pack and go, and Ivy tells Daphne she has to leave Los Angeles. Now, I don't think that's going to sit well with Will in any way. I suspect he's going to tell Katie about Ivy spying for Electra Forrester and making threats at Dylan. I don't think Will is going to toss Dylan out to live in her car again, and since she really needs a job, I suspect that Katie might find something for her at Logan. Since Ivy and Electra may be in agreement that Dylan has got to go, they will be outraged if Will gets Dylan a job at Katie's design firm. And since Electra was blathering to Steffi about Dylan, I'm sure that Steffi will pile on as well, because the Forresters love to do that. I fully expect Will to defend Dylan, and in the end, while he wants to be close to Electra, this might be a trigger that winds up with Will also leaving Forrester. We know that Katie and Bill really want Will to come work with them at Logan. The main reason he is at Forrester is because of Electra at this point, but Will might walk away. I think Katie may tell him that the Forresters are being awful to Dylan, like they've been awful and disrespectful to her, like they were awful and disrespectful when Ridge up and fired his own dad, but called it a surprise retirement. So, Katie and Bill might get Will worked up enough to where he decides to leave Forrester Creations as well. If he goes to work over at Logan, where Dylan may be working as well, that would drive Steffi, Electra, and Ivy to a lot more anger and outrage. If Will leaves, of course, that would crush Electra. And you know, R.J. Forrester would jump right in there and take the opportunity to spend more time with Electra, especially if Will's not around, the office. I also think Donna might end up joining Katie and Eric at Logan. Not that Donna was really working at Forrester anymore, but she might decide it's better if she's over at Logan to run interference so Ridge and Brooke don't creep in there and find out that Eric's designing for Katie. Donna might wind up being the new receptionist at Logan so she can be a gatekeeper to try and keep the Forresters from finding out Katie's secrets before she and Eric want them revealed. It could be that Donna's just hanging out at the offices to be around Eric and because she's worried about him, and then by default, because she's there, she sits down at the reception desk and starts doing the job. Bottom line, I could see Katie hiring several people that will rub the Forresters the wrong way. Eric, of course, is the big betrayal that's going to set off Brooke and Ridge, I'm sure, on top of Katie daring to use Logan for her business name. They're already really amped up about it, and I'm sure they're going to blame Bill for all of these things. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.